Welcome to Solo Shot First, and today we're going to be having a look at the Cad Bane figure from the Book of Boba Fett. Um, and I think, as I said before, this was part of Wave 47, which was a really good wave. And in that video, I did sort of mention that I did have another Cad Bane, and I couldn't remember which one it was from. And it is this Clone Wars one, which I actually managed to find it. I haven't opened that one yet, but I think you can see there are obviously some very clear differences in terms of not just the size of the figure, but the whole look as well. So if I bring that Clone Wars one in, for example, you can see obviously the head is very thin on that one. Decent hat. The weapons look slightly different, but he does come with that sort of rifle blaster. So it was just to sort of bring that in just as a comparison. I will get that open at some stage, possibly. But I just wanted to bring that in. And more importantly, we will concentrate on the main figure of Cad Bane from Wave 47. So I said it. I've actually said it when I was talking about the wave. Really good artwork on this. In terms of the actual card back. The Kenner logo in the bottom right as you look at it, the warning logo in the top right, and the 4+ age group in the top left. The Cad Bane itself comes with the red name pill, which actually does make the figure stand out really, really nicely. And you've got the Book of Boba Fett logo. And the image that they've used there is straight from the series. So that is a good image. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that they could have taken a better image. What I mean by that is the actual image that they've used there and the face sculpt that they've given him. If you can see that through the bubblies, I think you can just about see that he has got his sort of teeth gritted, sort of like that. So, yeah, really, really decent card back. VC283. The other figures as part of that wave. The nice Star Wars racetrack, and obviously all of that legal nonsense that nobody likes. But, this does look a really decent figure. So all we need to now do is let's get this out of the packaging. We'll take a look at the figure in a little bit more detail. Okay, so there you can see him released from his bubble and everything else. First impressions, listen, really, again, decent looking character. Certainly an upgrade on the Clone Wars one. And I think there was another one previously. I'm not sure if it was from the Clone Wars, but they really forgive my ignorance on this. I just haven't had the chance to look it up. They did do a Cad Bane that came with a speeder bike as well, which I think was a pretty cool set. So if anybody sort of watching the video knows what line that was from, let me know, please, because I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, back to this figure. Really good looking figure. I mean, the one thing that, again, is just the main issue that I have with this sort of modern line, which is just it is a small thing, but again, the peg holes on this figure, very much like the Boba Fett and most figures that that you do get now with the rocker ankles. And again, people sort of talk about, is it the rocker ankles? Has that caused some sort of problem? But I don't necessarily think that is the case. But the way that they've got, these peg holes now, they are just so shallow that they are almost pointless, really. I mean, let me see if I can try and get that on this one on a figure stand. It'll be ironic if I can, but not really. No, it doesn't want to go. I mean, again, I suppose you could sort of file down some stands that you've had and things, but that sort of does defeat the object of the exercise. Anyway, yeah, really, really decent looking figure. Articulation wise, again, it's got everything that you want. So a good swivel at the head. That hat does come off. So there is a swivel at the head. I mean, I say it's restricted. It's not restricted because you've got these, if you can see that, these tubes sort of coming out of his face, and they go into that piece on the back. But that does pop out. So if you did want to sort of go full motion on the swivel, that you can do that. But it doesn't impact on the figure anyway. You've got enough motion in the neck there anyway. So there's not a problem there. You've got good articulation at the shoulders, articulation at the elbows, articulation at the wrist with a hinge in there as well. A swivel at the waist, but with that you just need to move his cape. And his cape is a soft plastic, and it is a soft plastic, but it is, I wouldn't say restrictive, but it does restrict him ever so slightly. Not in terms of sort of the poses and things you're going to be able to get him into, but if you're just trying to get those swivels like I was just doing there. So the swivel at the waist, and he does, sorry, I'm digressing there, but he does actually have a crunch in that waist as well. But again, you need to sort of move the cape to be able to sort of see and facilitate that. And it works really nicely on this figure, because where that crunch is almost just in that, or that whatever the crunch is covered by his gun belt, which is so it works really, really well. You've got the butterfly hinge, so the legs spread superbly. Articulation just at the thigh, at the knee, and at the ankles with the rocker. So again, awesome articulation, and the attention to detail on this figure as well. Like, just looking there on, you can see that on the arms, that there's some nice colouring there with those sort of tubes coming out, going into those arm guards. Really good on the gun belt, and he's got the 2 holsters. So yeah, looks good front and back. Decent looking figure, really nice. And certainly a superior upgrade to the Clone Wars one. But at the end of the day, that certainly did a job for Cad Bane as it was then. And actually, the two things are very, very different. The sort of the live series, if you want to class it as that, and obviously the Clone Wars is just purely animated, so the figures were going to look completely different. So this one does look really, really nice. In terms of the accessories, you got the removable hat, obviously, that you've seen, that comes with it, and he does come with these 2 blasters. They're just a plain grey, but they're cool, these pistols. I mean, they're almost like, well, sort of depicted as Western pistols, which I suppose is what they are. And again, I know a lot of people are not necessarily always into to sort of the different versions in terms of whether it be Clone Wars or even, the Book of Boba Fett. There were some issues really with that series. There were some good episodes and some bad episodes. But at the end of the day, what's not to like about getting another bounty hunter? And I mean, I love, for example, the actual Clone Wars themselves, the animated series anyway. So I was always wanting to get this figure open and get it loose. So I think, again, carded collectors, you're going to like it because the artwork's really, really good. And obviously, if you are trying to complete lines or runs or whatever, then it's a good figure to get. And actually, for an opener, this is a lovely figure. Again, will go really nicely in any diorama that you sort of put together. He can appear in the palace or whatever. So yeah, a really decent looking figure. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you have, then please hit the like button. If you're new to the channel and you want to subscribe, please do. There'll be more videos coming shortly. If you've got any questions or any comments, or anybody can answer the questions I threw out about the speeder bike that come with it, then please leave them in the comments section below, and I'll come back to you as soon as possible. But I hope you've enjoyed it, and thanks for watching the video.